working all for you. Freedom! Keep your ears to the
What has just arrived? Shiny. Here's the heart of the Autopilot EV-200. Kijk, dit is nou handig. Papieren mal. En dan kan je al de gaten op de goede plek boren. The beast. Alright, first thing that I'm going to install is the rudder, the tiller sensor. So that's this device, and it should be placed in a way that this is connected to the actual tiller. So then when this is pivoting, the Autopilot will know the position of the rudder when it's like straight, when it's maximum to the starboard, when it's maximum to port. So I'm going to install that now, perpendicular to the tiller. The challenge I'm having is that this is the, let's say, box where the actual tiller is, and here is fiberglass. And then I want to install the sensor on this side. So I have to drill holes in. First, I have to mount it nicely in the same angle as the tiller, as far as to the stern as possible, because I really hope that the max of the sensor, like when the sensor pivot max, for example, to port, I hope it can go far enough for the rudder also to have its maximum steering, because I will have a problem if that's not the case. Ideally, you place this parallel to the axis of the rudder, but because my rudder is attached behind the stern, of course I cannot also put that sensor behind the stern, so it needs to be a little bit more to the bow of the boat, more to the front, so that limits the angle. It should still work, but that's one of the things that is a bit scary. I can only find out when I've installed it. The problem on boats is there's a lot of storage space, but then to remember where you left something, it's not easy. So I did find these ones, so I'm going to use either the small ones or this big one, see which fits best, to serve as a mount for that tiller sensor. Yeah, they look strong. boat. Hope it will never cause me sinking. I managed to get the cable from the battery or from the switch through the bilge. Still dry though, the cable, all the way up here. And then this is the cable that I'm going to use. So even ordered exact the right length. I shouldn't have ordered 1 meter less. Then I'm going to split this cable to power the driver and to power the ACU. That's the only two devices that need 12 volt straight power, and then from the ACU the other parts will be powered using the C-Talk cables that came with the kit. The EV-200 control unit. Okay, so I found out that you also have to connect a ground straight to the negative terminal of the battery. In my case, I didn't know this before, and the battery is here a bit far from here. It's not, and I don't have the right cable to connect it right now. So what I did, not advisable, this was the cable that I already had here. So this is like 1.5 millimeter square each. So I'm combining these two, and this cable will be my ground going to the negative terminal. So later I will replace this for, they advise a very big, I think they said 6 square millimeter. So that's like the serious ground cable, and then I need approximately 8 meters, 9 meters of that. So it's quite a lot. So this will be my solution first. Not really nice. Okay, let's connect this one now. Here are all the cables already, or all the cables, but now finding the right connections. Yeah, fingers crossed. Alright, all the cables are connected. So here is the power for the driver. Here's the power, how it comes in. This is the clutch connected to the driver, so that will make sure that if you don't use the autopilot, the driver will just move with the rudder, so you can use the rudder normally, and it will engage the rudder at the right time. Then here are the 4 cables connected to the rudder sensor, and here it's the connection to the C-talk. So here it will talk to the rest of the system, receiving the signals of the compass and of the control unit. Then the ones of sleep, I don't know what to put there. I guess I just leave them empty. And the ground I can only attach when it's mounted to the mount, because the cable is not long enough to have it here. Okay, so here I'm in the galley cabinet. So I'm going to attach the positive one to this switch, and then the negative one to my to this bus. And I'm also going to connect the ground cable to the bus. Okay, so the moment of truth, I switched the switch and then nothing happened. And then I realized it's probably because I forgot the power cable for the seat talk. So I was already wondering what should be in that remaining white connection. So it's the power for the seat talk. But yeah, I only have the power cable for this whole device. This will of course not consume so much power. So what I'm going to do, maybe not exactly how it's supposed to be, but I'm going to put these also in this power, so it will get the power from the main cable. There's power. Woohoo!
Hij is nu 36,0. Oké.
So this is how the Autopilot is attached to the rudder. Very strong stainless steel mount that we made ourselves. Thick pin, I think it's 16 millimeter. Then the driver is attached to it like that. These are the cables of the normal steering. Then here you see the rubber mount to protect it from splashes of water. And down here you see the slit that I made for the rudder sensor that was on the other side. So this tube needs to go back and forth. But water, when you sail, water is just flowing in from this side, and this gets submerged up to here. So this whole slit gets under the water, and it was pouring in. So the dilemma is that there's also a hole behind this rubber. Will in extreme situations also get the water full up to here, and is there then a potential leak in the boat, or is it fine if I just enforce this properly, if I make this stronger? Will this be strong enough for extreme weather situations and waves? That's the question. Okay, time for me to celebrate King's Day. I made this, but I put it as a mirror image. This rubber thing should be on this side because it goes in like this. Alright, so we made an upgrade to enforce the rubber to make this watertight. So the driver will go through this hole, and we're going to put this ring here on the inside. Then we're going to put this ring on the outside. This is exactly the same diameter as the driver. Then with this screw we can make this tight around the driver. So this will be tight around the driver, attached to the other plastic ring, and then it will seal the rubber. So now time to cut away that excessive rubber and to test it on the driver. Let me show you the work that I did so far. After the incident of the testing where water was flowing into my boat, I needed to make some adjustments. So now you can see here the previous cut for the rudder sensor is now nicely closed. The driver is installed again, and there you see the wood that I made exactly the right fit, so the driver can just move as much as it needs, but the hole is as small as possible. You see, my first attempt was not very precise because it was very hard to calculate or to estimate where the driver needed to go through the hole to the rudder. Okay. Here you see the other enforcement, the rubber ring that I showed earlier. This is how the end result now looks, or the result so far. I think it looks really good. This is really tight around the driver, the part that's not moving, because the part that will slide out is only here. It's again attached on the same position to the rudder. This yellow plate is what I use for the rudder sensor. So the rudder sensor will now be attached here, so this is as high as possible. So the chance that of the new cut that I'm going to saw, water will flow in is minimal. And I will still put some kind of protection like a rubber thing, but that will should be just for some splashes, because I can't believe that the water in this will always, like, you know, it cannot reach to here, because this was not attached all the time that I was sailing, and never water came up here. I think only in very serious storms sometimes it can really be submerged to here, and then only in those moments a small cut would be submerged with water. So I'm willing to take that risk. There you can, where is it? There is a small hole. Now the first hole that I drilled for the bar to attach the rudder sensor to, because it's still very difficult to determine exactly where the cut in this glass fiber needs to go to at the end be attached to the tiller. And then on this side, this is now where I placed the rudder sensor, so this is also again as high as possible, and this one will start moving like this. So there you see the first hole that I made, hopefully in the right place to attach it. So now the rudder sensor is in like neutral position, so straight forward. And with the hole I drilled, it comes relatively close to where it needs to be attached. You see, it's just a few centimeters here, which means it's only like less than a centimeter there. So that is good news. The height is also quite good. Also the height I would be able to slightly adjust here if needed, but this is like the highest possible position. So I'm confident to now make the cut between that hole you see and the hole the bar is going through, and then with a bit of luck this one will be able to attach here, and then I can do the further testing. So I learned from my previous installation. Okay, I just did the dock wizard, and now it seems to be ready for testing. Now it's here on standby. So if I here press auto, now it's an auto mode. So if I, for example, would press more to go more to starboard, 20 degrees, the wheel starts spinning. When I go here, the driver is pushing the rudder. It's quite some force. What do we make? What we made? So we need some more testing.
all for you. Freedom.
Keep your